Hello everyone and welcome back to Lego Man Cam. Today I'm going to be doing a bit more of a casual video as I'm going to be looking at my favorite Lego Star Wars minifigure from each of the last 10 years. And once I've chosen my favorite, I'm going to be putting them in a tier list and ranking them against one another to hopefully come up with what is the best Lego Star Wars minifigure of all time, in my opinion. Now, I have included 2024 in this list, even though we're not at the end of the year yet, but I wanted to put it in there anyway. So to begin, we have Saw Guerrera. Now, I know a lot of people were a little bit disheartened by the coloration on the figure, that it was a dark green rather than maybe a kind of gray or silver color. But getting it in person, I think it definitely looks better than the photos suggest, and I love the little cape on the back of the figure. The printing going all across the torso, legs, and that armor piece is really nice, with an exclusive face print as well. So overall, I think this is just a really great figure. Now looking at the tier list, I have 5 different categories. Up the top, we have GOATed, which is very, very hard to come by. Only the best of the best will be put in this category. We then have A for amazing, B for very good, C for cool, and then D for doo-doo. I don't think we're going to see many minifigures get put in the doo-doo category because these are all of the best minifigures of each year, obviously, in my opinion. So beginning with Saw Guerrera, I'm going to be putting him in the very good category. I think it's a good minifig. It's definitely not the best we've ever seen though, and he still has some areas that could be improved. Maybe some arm print, some side leg print, or even getting that cape to not droop as back. Maybe a special molded armor piece would have been nice there. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe as we are a very new and growing channel and every little bit of support really helps. Now, moving into 2023, we have my favorite minifigure from this year being Bo-Katan from the Mandalorian Spider Tank set. Now, I much prefer this figure to the one that was included in the Mandalorian Starfighter from a couple of years back, because this one just looks a lot more realistic. It doesn't have that Clone Wars animated style to it, and I love the arm print on this figure. I think the choice of blue color as well here is a lot softer and just matches a lot better with the dark gray, rather than just the normal blue of the other figure. We also get a hairpiece to go along with her, which I think works quite well, probably a lot better than the one on that original figure. And then her helmet as well is really nice, even if we could have got that white print a little bit more opaque. Now looking at where to put her on the tier list, I'm definitely debating putting her in GOATed, but I think I'm going to put her at the top of amazing, wait and see what other figures come along and where they place, and then maybe she could get put up to GOATed afterwards. Moving into 2022 here, quite a few nice minifigures to talk about, but the one that I've chosen as my favorite is Cad Bane from the Justifier. Now, I am a little bit biased here. I love Cad Bane as a character. I loved him in the Clone Wars, loved him in Bad Batch, and then the Book of Boba Fett as well. So I was really, really excited to get him again as a minifigure after what had seemed like a really, really long time. I think the hat, it works really well here, being a little bit smaller. The breathing apparatus is a nice new mold for the character. And then the face print is really nice, torso and legs as well. Definitely maybe he could have had some more detail on the arms or something, maybe like his little missiles that he can shoot off, or even some kind of jet boots as well would have been cool. But otherwise, I think just a really solid minifigure. It just sucks that he is locked behind a really, really overpriced set. Hopefully you guys got it on clearance. Now looking at Cad Bane, where am I going to put him? I think he is going to beat out Saw Guerrera here, so I'm going to pop him at the top of very good. Now we have 2021, another good year for Lego Star Wars, and the figure that I have put on top is another Mandalorian who came in the same set as the original Bo-Katan. This is Gar Saxon. Now I think the value of this figure just goes to show you how good it is and how favorable the general public's opinion on the character is. He has an awesome new helmet mold, which they did reuse for the armorer, but it works so much better here, giving that kind of more DeLorean look. I think the yellow print on the helmet looks really nice. The whole gunmetal grey color scheme is really, really reflective, really metallic looking, like Beskar, which I think is awesome. And then again, the print on the torso and legs is great, and he does have that exclusive face print underneath. Even though he may be, you know, a really minor character in the overall Star Wars lore, I think it's really great that LEGO definitely just went all out with this guy, which is why I'm going to be putting him just behind Bo-Katan, but still in the amazing category. Next up, we have 2020, and the figure I'm going to be including here I think is going to be a little controversial, but I've gone with Ahsoka from Clone Wars Season 7. Maybe my Clone Wars Season 7 bias is showing here, having picked Bo-Katan, Gar Saxon, and now Ahsoka, but I just love this figure, and I was so excited to finally get an Ahsoka figure when this one came out. Yes, the headdress is too big. I can acknowledge that because they did reuse the same one from the Rebels Ahsoka, but it still looks like a really nice figure in my opinion. The head print and torso and legs are great. It was awesome to finally get a non-Clone Wars, you know, super ugly animated face for Ahsoka. Just to get a regular one was great. And obviously she comes with her 2 lightsabers. She appeared in the AAT set alongside one of her 3 30-second clones, which is great to get as well. Just again, a really great figure, and I was really thankful that they did then go and put her in a set with Darth Maul either the following year or the year after in a really cheap way to get her, which I thought was really nice of LEGO. Just a great figure, this Ahsoka, and one I'm really glad to have in my collection. Looking at the list though, it is a bit controversial. I'm not sure where to put her. I am leaning towards putting her at the bottom of Very Good. It's a cool figure, definitely. I just think she gets outclassed though by Saw Guerrera and Cad Bane. Now we move into 2019. This was a really weird year for me. I bought no LEGO Star Wars. Don't know what I was doing. I think I've just bought all Ninjago sets for some reason. I didn't buy any of the 20th anniversary sets like an absolute idiot. Anyway though, the figure that I've included here comes in the Slave 1 set, the sort of larger scale one that they had for that year. And this is the bounty hunter Zuckuss. Now, a very, very minor character. Like, he only appears in Empire Strikes Back for like, you know, 3 seconds or something in that one scene with Darth Vader talking to the bounty hunters. But just such a complex and detailed figure. A really unique molded head, which I always love getting these sort of new creatures, new species in LEGO. And then he obviously has a nice torso print and a leg dress piece, which, you know, goes all the way down. I love that new dress piece that they came up with a few years ago that actually attaches into the legs rather than just using like a sloped brick, which would just fall apart every 5 seconds. So just a really cool character. And I love when LEGO goes all out in these side characters. I think that's really fun for them to do. So looking at Zuckuss here, where does he go? In saying all those praises, he is still not just the best figure, I feel like. I do think he beats out Ahsoka though, so I'm going to be putting him above Ahsoka in Very Good. Now moving into 2018, we have a figure from the Han Solo movie, a movie that I know a lot of people don't really like. I didn't really mind it, I thought it was fine. And this figure came in the TIE Fighter set, and this is the Mimban Stormtrooper. Now, Mimban was a planet, I believe, that they're on pretty early on in the film when Han Solo was sort of in that Imperial training facility. He's on that planet where they're getting shot at and stuff, and he's kind of hiding in the trenches there. But this minifigure looks so cool. It's a fully like light gray Stormtrooper, which is definitely a new color. We'd never seen a Stormtrooper in that. It makes use of that new molded helmet, which I know people aren't the biggest fan of. It is a little big, but I still think it has a lot of detail to it. And then it's just got so much crazy printing all over it. That looks awesome. As well as having an actual cloth cape, which I know a lot of people love and I love too. I think it looks really great. With that being said, looking at where to place him on the list, I believe he is going to beat out Gar Saxon actually in the amazing category. Not going to beat out Bo-Katan for me. I think that Bo-Katan minifigure is just awesome, but he's going to be coming sort of in second place at the moment in the amazing category. Moving into 2017 now, we have a minifigure from the Rogue One movie, like probably my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. And this is what a lot of people like to call White Chewbacca. This is Moroff. He was one of Saw Guerrera's kind of allies that would sort of hang out with him in the movie. And yeah, he's this really big, literally white Chewbacca looking character, but they put him in this Y-Wing set and he makes use of a brand new molded headpiece. He has sort of a built up backpack on the back. And I think he's just a really awesome and unique looking figure that we don't often see from LEGO Star Wars. I really just love the design of this guy. I love that, again, LEGO went all out on a really, really obscure character who has Very minimal screen time, not a single line of dialogue in the whole film, but it just really elevates your sort of Star Wars world, and it's just so great for LEGO to throw in these characters rather than just another Stormtrooper or another Rebel Trooper, to give us these named exclusive figs that obviously now will hold up and have a lot of value to them. And I think that makes sense because they are really desirable and really collectible minifigures. Looking at where to put him on the list, I don't think he gets all the way up to the amazing category, but I think he definitely dominates the very good category, so he'll be going at the top of the list there. Now we have 2016 coming up as our second last year to look at, and I've chosen the Ahsoka from Star Wars Rebels. Now this is probably a pretty popular pick, but this figure just looks so cool. The headdress makes sense, it's meant to be that big, it's that big in the show. The detail on the torso and legs, the lines are a little bit big, I feel like, but they do still get the point across. And then that darker orange color for Ahsoka's skin tone, I think really just sort of brings out the features of her eyes, and then the headdress piece as well. Such a great figure. It's no mystery why this figure is now worth upwards of, $200, $300 because it's just amazing. I wish I had it in my collection, but unfortunately, I will not be spending that much money on just one minifigure. Then again, just such a great figure. I think for me, this one is just going to be beating out Gar Saxon in the amazing category. Now the last figure to take a look at in this video is another figure from Star Wars Rebels. This one obviously released in 2015 in the Inquisitor's TIE Fighter. This is the Grand Inquisitor himself. Now this is a figure that I do actually own, and I just loved having this figure as a kid. Not only did you get the really cool lightsaber piece for the first time, but they included that helmet so you could actually pilot him in the TIE Fighter, as well as the big armor piece I thought really complemented him well. The face print was really nice, showing a Powwowan sort of species character for the first time in LEGO. And then again, that helmet with the dual molded trans red across the visor just looked really nice. The torso and leg print is nothing to write home about, but still looks pretty cool. I think it's just a really great figure that you can display both with the helmet on and with the helmet off, and both looks perfect either way. In terms of where to put it on the list, I think I'm going to have to put it at the top of very good. Doesn't quite get into amazing, but yeah, very good for sure. So with that being said, those are the most recent 10 years of LEGO Star Wars minifigures, and coming out on top was of course Bo-Katan from last year. And let me know, which figures would you have chosen for this list? Are there any that I chose here that are just terrible picks? Are there any that you agree with? Let me know. I think this is a really fun discussion we could have. In the next video though, I totally want to look at all the 10 prior years and seeing whether any of the rankings actually change. If you did go on to enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.